Tom.
And I'm Molly.
Welcome to Friends of Gameology, hosted by friends at Gameology.com.
Reviews for science.
In 7 minutes or less.
Islebound, a very nice looking resource management, action, selection game where you're moving around the board, taking the action that's on there, or not. There's a couple things you can do on your turn, and collecting resources to get points. Whoever has the most points, which are renowned in this game, wins the game at the end. Let's just jump straight. I skipped over so much. Simplicity versus complexity.
Typically, we set up the game before, or sometimes you'll see us setting it up in the little opening vignette. But this game is as scrunched together as we can get it on the table, and it's still not all the way set up because this takes a lot of space. There's so much going on in this game. You have this huge map of the world, this cool globe. You got your own player board, and on your player board, your characters, your fish, your planks. And on top of that, we've got this board over here. It's a renowned board, and it has events, and it has these very specific to a certain location.
I knew where it was last game.
Yeah, it changes. What is it called? Farwold has these events. Then that's where you can purchase these new characters. And that's where you put your diplomacy.
And money goes there.
And so, like, there's a lot going on in this game. But you know what? Despite all that, I think it's actually pretty simple. The rulebook was so intimidating to me when I first read it. And there's some of these things that you have to read the entire rulebook, and I didn't. So I was like, oh, islands, I'll just figure out what those do when we play. And I was like, man, this is so hard. What do these do? I don't understand. If you read the rulebook all the way through, I think you'll get this very simply. You move on your turn, you take an action. Boom. The game ends when, depending on the number of players, say 8 buildings are built. And you're just trying to get the most points. So do what it takes to get the most points.
Yeah, this game is going to be laid out fairly simply. There's quite a few, like Tom mentioned, small details that you'll pick up while playing your first game. But the actions you can take are here. You have these 4 actions, so you have to move on your turn. You can't stay where you were for the previous turn. So you have to move at least 1 up to 4, depending on what your movement is. And then you do one of these actions. You either take the action of the place, you attack it and gain control of it, you diplomacy it and gain control of it, or you hunt for treasure, which is get money from this treasure map on this board that Tom mentioned earlier. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to take all this money. So that's all you do, along with all of these other things, right? So the complexity comes in the symbols that are on the board. It's like Tom said, you've got to learn the symbols on the board. You've got to learn what that board does and how it affects this board. Yeah, so there is something. How do you diplomacy? How do you attack? There are a few small things you have to learn. But overall, what you can do on your turn is simple, and that makes it easy enough to play. And by mid-game, you'll understand how to play and be competitive. Of your first game, I mean.
Luck versus strategy?
Did you say simplicity for complexity?
I started, man.
Oh, I did. Luck versus strategy.
Luck versus strategy. This game has some luck because you can recruit these pirates and capture these sea serpents and then use them to fight for you. And you roll dice to do that, and maybe you miss. But truth be told, this game is very strategic. There's so much going on that you can manipulate, that you can mitigate the luck. You can make decisions to help you get better crew members and move faster, move further, and take the appropriate actions to control locations. Then the buildings that you can pick up, there's luck in what comes out, but you get these buildings that give you skills or more points at the end of the game, variable amount of points. And they kind of drive your strategy. If you get a good building, you can sort of do what that building allows you to do or what it focuses you on for the rest of the game. I think there's so much strategy in this game. Despite some luck, I think it's actually pretty good balance.
I would totally agree with all of what Tom said. Your first game is going to be a little less strategic because you're not going to understand the importance of certain things, like the buildings, like these events that happen that give you extra points. So you're going to focus on 1 or 2 things, which is totally fine. Because then at the end, you're going to say, oh, I know exactly what to do. I know the strategy I need to use now. So I do agree there's some luck in what buildings come out for who, but there's 2 ways to buy the buildings. You can use your resources, or you can buy them with money. And so I like that about this game. There's so many ways to do so many things on this board. Very strategic. Fun versus boring. This game is fun. It's complex and fun. I enjoy trying to get points different than other people. I mean, you can diplomacy and get so many points that way. You can attack and get points. You get money every time you take over a city. That's a way to get money. hunt for treasure, and strictly buy buildings is another way to get money. There's so many different strategies in this game, and I like that. I like that there's a modular board. It changes every time. You can flip it over and it'd be advanced, so you have a little bit more choices to do. And this game is super fun, and the art looks great.
This game is really fun. I enjoyed it every time I played. I want to keep playing it. I like trying to figure out how I can get to some place before someone else. If I can tell we're all trying to go for books, there's so many things we haven't talked about yet. But there's these books, there's these planks of wood, and I need them, and I can tell someone else does too. And how can I get there? And should I just go somewhere else? And should I take over a city so that they'll have to start paying me? And should I rush the buildings to help control end game, or should I stack up and try to get a whole bunch of money so I can purchase really big buildings? Because however much you pay is how much they'll give you in points at the end. Do I want to even worry about crew members, or do I want to ignore them and try to only get sea serpents and just try to attack a bunch of towns? So much going on, and it's so much fun. I really enjoy it. Board Game Geek rating, what would you give it?
I want to say I would give it an 8.
I'm going to go with a 9. Really enjoyed this one. Super fun. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, me too. Every time we get to multiples of 500 subscribers, we give away a free glitter painting of your favorite geeky thing. So make sure to subscribe now on YouTube.
It could be you that wins.
Islebound. We've presented the evidence.
You be the judge.